Hi, welcome to the very first episode of AkiLanguage World Tour. I'm Cris.
And I'm Jack. Benvenuti guys, welcome.
Some of you might know us already because we are the host of the Aki OCD as well as Aki Arcade podcast. So the first one is kinda a mix of mental health and our hobbies related to TV series and movies, but also books, music and so on. While the second one, Aki Arcade, is the channel dedicated to the gaming world and technology. If already 2 podcasts and YouTube channels were not enough for us, we decided to start AkiLanguage World Tour that is dedicated to language learning. Right, Jack?
Sure. Actually, guys, me and Cris share a lot of hobbies. We mainly talk about those also in our first 2 channels that Cris described very well. But the main thing that me and Cris share is the passion for languages. You know, guys, after high school, I've decided to study deeper languages, taking part at the Foreign Languages and Literature University in Pisa. Also, Cris brought his education levels on with the study of Japanese.
I graduated in international relations and political science. Languages were an important component. Especially for me, I loved learning English back then as well as French. Starting by myself and later enrolling in a class at the University of Toronto, I was able to study Japanese for a full academic year. So back then my Japanese was quite good, but nowadays I haven't been studied for several years, so I will definitely need to brush up my Japanese skills in order to improve a bit more.
In this moment, we are both quite rusty with languages, but we keep our curiosity even for more languages to learn and in general for linguistic worldwide.
There is the possibility that new listeners are listening to us right now. Both me and Jack are Italian, but we decided to start podcasting more than 2 years ago by now in English in order to reach a wider audience. And because speaking in different languages is a passion of ours. If you are curious to see all the progresses that we've made so far, you're welcome to check out Aki OCD as well as Aki Arcade. We have a catalog that is more than 70 episodes by now, so plenty of contents to enjoy.
Starting from TV series or movies came out recently in theaters and streaming platforms.
If you would like to get in touch with us, we attach to the notes all the info in order to tell us your opinion and suggestion for this brand new channel. Also, me and Jack would be really happy if you consider yourself as part of this project, because we would like to create a language learning community that will be one more reason to not give up learning, but to improve even more. So that's why we didn't want to focus our channel just to Italian, but to reach potentially all languages in the world, techniques, tips and tricks in order to learn smarter, or simply our experiences and mistakes that we've done in the past, so you don't have to go through the same struggles. Consider us as your classmates in this worldwide classroom that is AkiLanguage World Tour.
Let's take on this learning process together.
So Jack, why did you start learning right off your high school path as your main choice in university?
Well, Cris, actually, even during high school, my passion was for humanistic studies, especially for the ancient languages like Latin and Greek. So starting from that, I already noticed that my heart was for ancient or modern. It didn't matter actually. I was quite good at it. It fascinated me for some reasons, It allowed me to go deeper into that kind of culture. As we are talking about ancient languages like Latin and Greek, it's a process of discovering our own roots because we are Italian. As far as Russian, I must admit that it was a brave choice because it wasn't so studied by students at university. Usually the major languages were others like Spanish or French, but I always felt the Russian literature and culture in general. I remember in high school or during summers, I started reading Dostoevsky. As many people in my age, I was fascinated by this great novel, Crime and Punishment. I felt the deep meaning of Russian literature and culture as a whole. So I thought, why don't try the language? And I did it. I enrolled at university and I took on my major languages, English and Russian. I studied then the language for overall 5 years. The first 3 years, the laurea triennale, and then other 2 years for laurea magistrale.
Basically, guys, if you're not familiar, laurea triennale is simply undergrads, while laurea magistrale is the master. Not sure that everyone is familiar with the Italian university system.
Yeah, actually, you might have a complete 5-year course, or others you might have to take laurea triennale first and then laurea magistrale. What about your experience at university?
So basically, Japanese was not part of my standard study plan in university, unlike English and French, but the passion started way back when I was around 4 years old. I'm kinda dating myself, but we are talking about the early 90s. There was no internet, no YouTube or streaming services. Despite that, I was able to catch a few shows related to Japanese, for example, Dragon Ball or Ranma. Outside, I would say the anime themselves, I was quite curious to know more about the writing system. So this pictographic language, every character has a different meaning, and it felt so different from the Latin alphabet that major languages in the West are using. So I wanted to find out more, but of course when I was 4 years old, without the internet, without YouTube, it was quite impossible to learn it by myself. So I needed to wait until I was a university student. First, I took Japanese class in a cultural center in the city of my university, so completely separated from my university path. The year after, I was able to study abroad from Italy to Toronto at the University of Toronto. There, I went all for it and enrolled in a Japanese class that was quite difficult, and it took 6 to 8 hours per week, including all the cultural activities. So we are talking about 2016, but to be honest, when I came back, I took the JLPTN5, that is the Japanese language proficiency test. For those of you who are not aware, is the easiest one, the elementary level. After that, I didn't have a chance to study a lot, and that's why I would like to start again nowadays, like first brushing up my skills that are quite rusty by now, and hopefully learn something new.
I completely share the same aim. I would also like to improve and practice my Russian a little bit more, because I didn't have the chance to find many partners in the last times.
Jack most likely will be a full-time teacher in the near future. As for now, he's working in the tourism sector. The knowledge of several languages is essential for him.
For different reasons. On one side, you must handle a lot of tourists and communicate in different languages, while on the other, the education is a little bit broader, because you must convey the sense of a culture.
Yeah, of course. As for me, it has been 2 years that I'm an online Italian tutor, so my job is basically helping Italian students starting out with the language or improve even more. So I can guide students from all levels and all age. So it's really an interesting job, because I'm able to meet students that are from all over the world. There is a way wider perspective compared to just living in Tuscany. Both me and Jack are living in Tuscany.
Yes, sure. We are reaching a broader audience. We must take advantage of these great tools that we have nowadays. When we started learning the languages, it was, as we can say, another world. So right now we are living in a brand new reality.
Yeah, of course. Instead of, as I said, focusing on Italian, Japanese or Russian, we just like to open this podcast to all learners that would like to provide their experiences and what they are studying. So general tips on how to learn a language in a better way. So it's kind of a mix, and I'm sure that the podcast will grow according to the needs of our community. So feel free to give your advice. Tell us if you're learning a new language, or maybe you are a polyglot like us and you are already speaking several languages and you would like just to add another one, because why not?
Or to teach us yours.
Of course, that would be awesome actually. We would like to do fun activities as well, like learning a new language in just like 10 days or something like that. You can have a laugh with us about how bad we are learning in a short time. Overall, we just would like to create a friendly community to improve together our passion in language learning.
Sure, guys. So we hope that we will get new ideas from you and we can make this community improve day by day.
Yeah, and if you are curious to our previous works that, by the way, are still going on and are a crucial part in our podcasting experience, feel free to check out Aki OCD as well as Aki Arcade if you happen to be a gamer or a technology enthusiast as well.
Sure, we are really excited to know more about you and to get new ideas.
So that's it for today. More exciting contents coming soon on AkiLanguage World Tour.
We will be waiting for you.